Hi everyone, I'm back again, and this video is going to be useful for communication for you and your family members, and it's equally adaptable to explain things to your kids. So I'm going to explain it from my adult point of view first, and then at the end I'm going to tell you how to teach your children about it. Okay, so basically this is another video about handling irritability and mean words and the things that we end up saying to each other when our stress pile up is just completely overwhelming. So basically, there's a proverb, death by 1,000 cuts. Okay, so maybe you've heard of this before. And essentially it just means that although a catastrophic wound can certainly hurt you, lots and lots of little wounds can also hurt you as well. So, 1,000 little cuts can just be as fatal as one big injury. So as we are talking to the people at work, as we're talking to the people at home, and honestly, things are getting said. I know this is true. Things are just hurtful and people are scared, and they're maybe just kind of always seeming like you're picking a fight. So one thing that's important to remember, my friends, is that anger is worry turned outward. Okay, think about that for a second. Anger is actually worry turned outward. So when someone is snapping at you or being extra irritable or grumpy or tantruming, whatever they're doing, you got to stop and say something kind of reasonable to kind of break the cycle, break the spin. And this is how you do it. Hey, I see, I know, I can feel that you're really upset right now. Can you tell me what's worrying you the most? Okay, so substitute, the word that fits you and ask the person what's bothering you the most, what's frustrating you the most, what's scaring you the most, and try and deal with that. Because basically, everybody, if we get yelled at enough or feel picked on enough, everything's going to shut down and no conversation is going to continue. And that's just going to be another cut in the wounding that's been going on. So when you can say to somebody, tell me what's bothering you, then you can get an answer that takes you one more sentence. I'm worried that we won't have enough money for the rent. I'm worried that, I'm not going to have college next year. I'm not going to get to go away. I'm worried that you're going to get sick. Of course, that's a pretty standard one right now. So, the joy of that is that even if, there's really nothing much you can do about that, you can assure your person, you can calm them down, you can let them know that you heard them. Right? And that is really important. There may not be any good answer, but knowing that, but then feeling rejected or minimized or dismissed is going to add to the layers of unhappiness. Okay, so I'll just run through it again. When someone gets upset with you, you just address that. Basically, you're telling them that you see them and you see that they're upset, and ask them what's scaring them the most right now. Then you can address that, okay, in whatever way that you can. So that's a really good way to calm down the spin. So when kids are really angry and being rough and cruel maybe, or frustrated or bullying or whatever they're up to right now, because they've been at home for a while and I am sure there is no filter left. So what I would do with them is when they go in to brush their teeth and they put their toothpaste on their toothbrush, what you say to them after they've got the toothpaste on there is say, hey, can you put that toothpaste back in the tube? And basically they know the answer is no, right? They know they can't. Now you got some smarty pants out there who might try, but basically we know it's not going to work. And so what you would say to them is say, you know what? This is like your words. Sometimes when you say mean things and you don't say you're sorry and you don't understand that hurt somebody, you know what? It's like toothpaste out of the tube. You can't take it back. So, it's just a visual way for them to understand that when they say something mean and it gets pointed out to them, that they can say they're sorry and understand that it might really hurt somebody. But the problem is, with saying I'm sorry, the implication is that you now know better, so you'll do better and you won't do that again. And I know that with kids, that's just not always possible. They're learning that. And so just remind them that, if they think that hurt somebody, then they should try to make amends and hug it out. Okay? If this is an adult that it's happening with, remember that saying you're sorry can only go so far if you don't make an absolute effort, now that you're aware of the problem, to remedy it. I'm not saying we have to be perfect, but there's an awful lot of space and forgiveness with important people if they can see that you're really trying. And if you can see they're really trying and they're not intentionally hurting you. All right, there's a bit in here, kids and adults and relationships. I hope this helps, but go practice it because it really does help. I've got a lot of years of experience teaching this, and I have a lot of evidence that says just try it. Okay? Thank you.